right, here we are for our next step. Knitting the cuff. You've just finished joining to work in the round. Look at you, you've got 12, 12, and 12. I'm so proud of you. To make our cuff of our sock, we're going to knit one stitch, then purl one stitch, then knit one stitch, then purl one stitch. Knitting, as you very likely recall, requires going under the fence, catch the sheep, pull them through, and off we leap. Easy enough. Now, in purling, you have to move the yarn to the front every single time. This is as fussy as it sounds, and it will make the cuff seem like it's taking a long time. But then when it's over, you'll be especially excited that it's over. So, you got that to look forward to. Purling, you're going to go, it's sort of the backwards knitting, right? You go down in front. Drape your yarn over the top. Scoop it out. And off we leap. And then you move your yarn to the back. See, you can knit another one. Under the fence, catch the sheep. Pull them through. And off we leap. Then the yarn moves to the front. So you can go down in front, over the top, scoop them out, and off we leap. And you continue like that for 4 inches. You've probably noticed that this needle is really waving around and getting in the way. The nice thing about knitting in the round is you're only ever knitting with 2 needles, just like when we were flat knitting in 1st and 2nd grade. These guys' entire job for this bit that we're doing here is to get in the way and to store your stitches that you're not working on, but mostly getting in your way, especially for the first couple of rows. Once you're a few rows in, they won't be so like in your face and in the way of what you're trying to do. But just work around them until then. They're, think of it as their ordained duty to be really annoying and in your way as much as possible. They're like gatekeepers or testing to see if you're have the patience for knitting in the round. And I know you can do it. I know you can pass the test. So, knit 1, move to the front, purl 1, to the back, knit 1, purl 1. Try very hard not to drop a stitch during this first row, because catching a drop stitch in the first row is not impossible, but it's difficult to the point where when it happens to me, I don't try and catch it. I just recast on everything and start over, because that truly, I promise you, is faster than trying to catch a stitch which has dropped off in the middle of your first row. It's just bad luck if it happens sometimes, but don't, break your fingers trying to fix that on the fly. Just recast on your 37, do your join in the round again, and that will be a faster fix in the end. One of the ways to check yourself as you're going is to look and see if you have, or actually to, you don't even have to count really. If you're going along and you notice that the last stitch that you do on a needle is not a purl, it is a knit, you should check and make sure you have 12, and then check and make sure that you didn't accidentally do 2 knits in a row or 2 purls in a row, because you have an even number, yeah, it's 12, so you should have like knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl. You should always be ending on a purl. And if you don't, it's either something jumped over to here, or something fell off entirely, or you knitted or purled 2 in a row. Again, like any number of things can cause that. And you can fix it pretty easy too. Like say if I'm going along and I'm, let's say I accidentally, let's say this guy dropped off. So what is that, a knit, purl, and okay, he's dropped off, but I didn't notice. I'm thinking about other things, thinking about sandwiches or something. I wonder what my dog's thinking about right now. I wonder if there's ants on the moon. How long is it till lunch? Oh no, my last stitch and I'm knitting! Well, if you find that this is the case, I'm gonna check and see. Okay, do I have 12 over here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Uh-oh. Okay, so I know I dropped a stitch. All I gotta do is I'm gonna go back. So I'm actually gonna grab this this last little stitch that I knitted and undo my last knit. I just go like that and pop the yarn out. And I'm going to do an increase. I'm gonna go under the fence, catch the sheet, pull them through, and pause. And then I'm gonna knit into the back of the stitch here, not into the front door again, but back. Knit into the back of the stitch like that. Catch a sheet, pull them through, and off I leave. And it makes an invisible little increase that looks like a pearl. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 again. Nice sneaky little fix. Now, if that happened to you on the first row, I might recommend just doing the cast on again, because you will always have this little like bumpy guy there where that fell off if this was, you know, what happened to you. But if you're a couple of rows in, you know, more than like an inch, just, you know, as long as you don't have a drop stitch that's gonna obviously unravel a bunch of other stuff, you can fix it with an increase like that. It's perfectly fine. And then you just keep going till you got 4 inches. Whoa! Look at you! 4 inches! Yep. 4 inches, which matches our 4 inches over here. So at this point going forward, I'm going to start showing you, or comparing our progress here to this finished sock that I've got here. So you can see sort of what your roadmap is. So you've completed up through this point. Well done. Next, we're going to lay into this guy here. This is the heel flap, and that will be our next video. Stay tuned.